Boyer had it really fast forward. It's been that way all weekend. Jimmy Johnson's been solid. There's a couple of guys that have made their way into the big show tonight. When you show up at Charlotte, you have to be in the All-Star race. You're racers. You want it all, and these guys are going to get to be a part of it.
Now, Suarez, the rookie, and only twice have rookie.
Daniel Suarez in the 19 and Chase Elliott in the 24. Those teams have elected to start this first stage on those softer option tires. They're going to try to make as much ground as they can because, remember, if you can't win a stage, Chris, it's all about the average.
And the winner gets $1 million. Chase Elliott had a battle there in that last stage to try to race his way in, but got the fan vote to get in. Still looking for his first Cup victory.
Casey Kane got the fan vote a few years back and drove straight to victory lane, so Chase Elliott could do the same thing tonight.
Yeah, see who takes the momentum with him.
And Chase Elliott got into the wall last time around. On the right, there's Elliott. Yeah. Here in the quad oval, near the start-finish line.
I've done that.
We'll await word from NASCAR on the final rundown of 10 drivers. In case of a tie, the tie is broken by the higher finish in stage 3. And I believe there is a tie. Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. And Joey Logano will break the tie because he finished 7th in stage 3 and Chase Elliott finished 8th.
Is it between Boyer or
Clint Boyer?
Yeah, I think it's Clint Boyer. And boy, how about that decision to take 2 right side tires? I think that actually cost Clint Boyer from being in this final round.
Because he had a good race car up to the
he had a good enough race car to go race up there.
So sometimes you outsmart yourself.
I'm impressed with Logano because he has not had a very good night.
No.
Don't count him out yet.
Well, this 10-lap shootout, don't count anybody out. They might wad them all up down here.
So Clint Boyer with an average of 10.6 is going to miss it. Logano finished 14th, 12th, and 7th. Elliott 13th, 10th, and 8th. That's a tie. Boyer 12th, 9th, and 11th. A total of 32. Logano and Elliott a total of 31. You divide by 3 to get the numbers that were on the screen. So as we get ready for the final stage of 10 green flag only laps, let's take a look at tonight's Credit One Bank ones to watch.
Yeah, Kyle Larson's just having an all-star kind of season, maybe even a championship. You know, if you're wondering why NASCAR chose to do that average, it's because in the past, if you've won a stage, you just fall to the back. You can just ride around. Not tonight. You've got to race hard for every single position.
There's another reason average finish was important, because that's how they have realigned those 10 drivers behind the pace car. That's how they will come to pit road, and then it will be a normal pit stop. Win the race off pit road. So that's why that average finish was important. Transfer to the final stage, be lined up as far front as possible to come to this pit road for a pit stop.
We know Brad Keselowski is out of tires. I wonder, Larry, will he even pit?
Why? I wouldn't pit.
No.
Clean air. I mean, you're going to come in and take off 20-lap tires and put on, yeah, they'll be cold, but you're putting on 20-lap tires.
Listen,
I don't
guys,
think he has an option.
Those first 5 cars, I mean, that's the top 5 qualifiers. Those are the guys that all started up front.
All right.
And there comes Brad staying out.
Everybody else is in. Vince.
Well, the one of Jamie McMurray, they discussed whether to go with 2 tires, but they've settled on 4. He says it's just a tick too snug on the bottom, so they'll help him with some air pressure to free it up. Matt?
And Kyle Larson's team, they've been stout all year on pit road, looking for another great performance. Tight end traffic. The car was good when it was in clean air. No fuel on the 48. That should help give more nose weight and make it a little bit tighter for this run. Jamie?
Kevin Harvick really liked that option tire with that big air pressure adjustment. The regular tires going back on, a 4-tire stop, wipes the grill, and so drag race down to finish. Who is it? The 48 wins the race off pit road.
That looked like Z-Max 4-wide dragway next door. Wow. Now, Chase Elliott came to pit road to pull a fender out, make sure they didn't have a tire rub. We started with 20. Matt Kenseth out with an oil leak. Ryan Newman got into the wall. They did not make it to the end of stage 3. And 8 drivers eliminated. Best 10 average finishes out there now.
Racing here, Chris Myers. The 42 car is very fast, and starting the back, it's going to be fun to watch him race through. Chase Elliott, I think he's on the verge of getting to victory lane tonight. Could be a big night for the 24 team.
In the famous 24.
Let's get down to pit road for late breaking stories as we get set to go 600 miles. Matt Yoakum.
Mike, the 24 team's rich winning tradition began right here in Charlotte 23 years ago tomorrow. Chase Elliott would love to add to that winning tradition with his first win here tonight. Now, confidence is high. Lessons learned a week ago, All-Star Weekend, have definitely carried over here to the 600. He starts third. He said really he expects a lot of movement up top early due to that traction compound. His only concern, just how long it will last later into the evening. Jamie Little?
Move in there and benefit him later. Here's another battle going on between Keselowski and Truex. Boy, we didn't see that happen a year ago. Nobody passed that 78 car. Now maybe this is Truex working on the tube.
Jeffrey Earnhardt down on the apron past the start-finish line. A lot of smoke. And we were told it smelled like rear end grease. Caution.
Oh, trouble. There's oil everywhere. I think there's oil from the 33. Man, it took out some good cars.
Brad Keselowski's car is destroyed.
Chase Elliott.
And Chase Elliott. What started out to be a routine caution for fluid on the track.
Heavy damage to
I'm pretty sure that's oil from that 33 car, because those cars just went crazy.
Had to be.
There's Earnhardt coming across. These two were battling for 5th place. Now up high is Earnhardt. There's Kyle Busch, your leader. There had been some smoke from Earnhardt's car, but then it got big.
Okay, so that's off of turn 4. He comes all the way down the front straightaway. Now the wreck's already happened. No, something happened to Chase Elliott.
He may have blown up. There was huge fire underneath the hood of that car.
I think the oil may have come from the 24, or certainly we know that there was fire and fluid underneath the 24.
Wow, I'm not sure what happened. Look at all the fire. Look under here.
Oh, man.
That thing grenaded.
Well,
unbelievable.
Brad Keselowski will tell you nowhere to go.
Yeah, he switched lanes, and I had somebody underneath me. Darn, he came right up in front of us, man. Sorry, guys. Something broke. I'm going to go find out. Switched lanes, and I was stuck in oil and couldn't do nothing.
Oh, yeah, he just lost control of the car. Couldn't avoid him.
Slid through the oil right into the back of Chase Elliott.
And those cars are destroyed, both of them.
It's way too early and end of the night, Jamie.
Well, Matt Kenseth was right there in the middle of all of it. I believe his car is okay at this point, but Matt said something came out of the back of the 33 car and hit the 24. So it sounds like the issues did indeed start with the 33.
Yeah, it was. The 33 had to have some role in it because it's right where he was trying to get down off the racetrack. Hadn't quite gotten down yet, but he was trying to. Then all this happened.
Yeah, I wonder if he ran it over and poked a hole in the oil pan, and that's all that fire and flames is from underneath the car.
Yeah, it could be that the piece went through the grill, hit the oil cooler, which is right there with the radiator. Oil went under the car and caught it on fire.
See if we see anything coming off Jeffrey Earnhardt's 33.
You see 18 going by on the inside, so he's the leader, and all you see this.
Yeah, there it is. Right there.
Wow, that was big.
Boy, something huge.
Yeah, you see it right here. Big piece just flew out from under the car. So apparently Chase hit that.
So Dale Earnhardt's grandson will also have a short night here in Charlotte. And NASCAR at lap 22.
Well, I've not seen a car go underneath the rear of a car that far like Keselowski did to the back end of the 24 of Chase Elliott in a long time.
Yeah, I thought all the fires, when I first saw that, I didn't see the fire. Then we looked at it again, but we just saw fire everywhere.
Something went through that car in the left front.
And that's where the oil cooler most likely is.
Yep. Caution is out at Charlotte for this.
Those two out of the race. Great move here, the 78, and then right behind him, Jimmy Johnson. So that's Truex and the 48 team. They weave their way through that mess, and those are your leaders.
Getting ready for the restart. Look at the big piece of metal debris that came out from behind the 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
See it bouncing right there. Big.
Into Eric Jones' car. Yeah. Bounces again. Chase Elliott's car.
I'm pretty sure we'll see him come up through here pretty fast.
Yeah, big hole in the left front of Chase Elliott's car, Larry.
Yeah, more than likely it got the oil cooler or something like that. That's where the fire came from. It essentially was an oil fire, and that, you know, you saw the fire coming out of the back of it.
Matt, how bad was that damage to Eric Jones?
About 4 huge pieces of bare bond duct tape went across that left front headlight area. They really
as we always do, for a great race, for a safe.
Across the driver introduction line, he said, "Why are you standing here?" So it's kind of fun seeing a little.
And you heard Jeff Gordon to kind of like the chances. We're talking about guys. We've been on this trend of first-time winners. I mean, Chase Elliott's been close, and we've had already Stenhouse. We had Austin Dillon.
Thanks, Chris, and hi, everybody. This is one of my favorite places to watch a race for a couple of reasons. The position of this race in the schedule, Darrell, allows us to look at some drivers who have established a pattern over the year. Some streaking, some slumping.
Yeah, well, the slumps, I mean, you think about Joe Gibbs Racing. Last year they had 7 wins at this time. All 4 of their drivers had won a race by this race last year. Joey Logano, he hadn't had a top 20 in 3 races. And Chase Elliott, he hadn't had a top 20 in the last 4 races. So those guys are in a slump. They need to get some work done today.
Ricky Stenhouse makes repairs. We're going to get ready to restart, but going to the back, Chase Elliott too fast exiting his pit. And Denny Hamlin had an uncontrolled tire on his stop.
Chase Elliott, nice comeback for him. Remember, he got busted for speeding early in this race, and his car hasn't been great, but they've been working on it, making it better. Right now, back into the top 10. He's really focused on the exit of the corner, and there's a great quote that he said, and Jeff, I know you like this one. Yesterday, Chase told me, heroes drive into the corners, legends drive off. So that has been their focus, driving off well.
I love that quote, and it's so true, especially when you see all these cars getting loose into the corner here at Dover. It's getting off the corner and carrying that speed down that straightaway. And that's true everywhere, but I think it's especially true here. And this kid, I know he hasn't won a race yet. He's going to, but he will be on his way to being a legend.
Well, just think about today. We haven't mentioned him until now, and we're just past halfway of this race. That's when the really smart guys, that's when the really good guys, that's when the good cars start to surface, the latter part of the race.
I picked him before the race, and I believe still Chase Elliott got a fast car. He's running in the top 5, 2 top 3 finishes here a year ago. He's going to get his first win today.
Jamie?
And at 24, Chase Elliott, the best he has been today. I talked to his crew chief earlier today, and he told me they struggled a little bit. They thought they were a 5th to a 10th place car. He said the problem that happens here is the Jimmy Johnson factor. You expect your driver to drive like him, and you expect that when you put Jimmy's setup on, it works. Well, we realize neither works. Chase Elliott has to drive his own race car in his own race. He's doing just that, guys.
They've got Kyle Busch on the pole, so let's take you back trackside and get ready to get this thing rolling.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports.
Now we saw that debris flying around. I think some of it made it onto Chase Elliott's grill.
Yeah, I got my switches, and I might have a black piece of trash bag on the grill, not sure.
Might have gone.
Yeah, it looks
hard
clear
to tell if it's a black piece of bag, trash bag.
Well, the good news is he's in traffic, and by being in traffic, if he can get up close to somebody, that'll clean the grill.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean. I think whatever was there, it already blew off.
Chase Elliott, about a half second behind Kenseth.
Yeah, Jimmy pulled him right along with them up through there.
Chris?
You see Chase Elliott there, good run up, big mover in the race so far, but in running so hard, he is starting to say that I'm having some brake issues, the brakes fading in that car. And talking to crew chiefs this morning, a lot of them saying they're running the brake package that they ran at Richmond, but they also say you've got to be a driver that's going to take care of your brakes all day if you want to get to the end. Jamie McMurray, also another driver, now complaining about his brakes.
Here we come to the Geico restart zone. A one-lap shootout to end stage 2. Here we go.
This ought to be interesting. Not a lot to be gained and a whole lot to lose.
Whoa! Right, Keselowski almost turned Chase Elliott.
Not a lot to be gained and a whole lot to lose.
I don't want my dog in this fight.
No.
Wow, heck of a battle between Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, Chase came right up.
Pretty good battle up here.
Riding with Brad on the restart. Whoa. One lap shootouts. A lot of reward, a lot of risk. 43 laps to go at Pocono. There goes race leader Kyle Busch. Here's Ryan Blaney, the second place car, 4.4 seconds back. Eric Jones is third, Martin Truex fourth. Let's take a look at today's Credit One Bank ones to watch. Jeff.
Well, this driver led 51 laps here a year ago in Pocono. That's Chase Elliott. He's been so close to getting his first win. Hasn't shown that this year, but today he's got the speed. I think he might get that first win today.
So now there are only 9 drivers who have not stopped during this final stage, but one driver did not have an error-free stop, Larry.
Yeah, Chase Elliott in that 24 car at lap 125. You're going to see everything goes pretty smooth on the right side. The tires come off the same time, tires go on, but where you're going to see the trouble is right over here on the left front. Very slow in that left front, 15.5 seconds. That's why now he is all the way back to 16th, well behind the drivers that's already pitted.
Often on pit stops, you hear us talk about pulling tape or adding tape. These teams like to do that, and on a hot day like this, you hear a lot of them say, let's pull some. So how they do that, Brian is my pit spotter. He's helping me here. The tire carrier runs around the left side. They deliver their tire. They reach forward on the grill. They pull that piece of tape. A lot of the teams like to layer these up, and they'll do the same and add tape if they need to. But what it does, it allows that air to go through and float to the engine and cool it off. And I want to thank the 24 team and the 4 for helping me with these props, guys.
Kyle and Blaney, then a gap to Chase Elliott. Third, 2 seconds back. Jamie?
And you talk about this being Father's Day. Chase's dad, Bill Elliott, most starts here of anyone. 61, he has 7 wins. Chase Elliott trying to get his first win here at Michigan. It wasn't easy to get here in the top 5. They made wholesale changes before final practice yesterday. They just couldn't find the speed. Turn 3 was the biggest issue, but today that race pace has definitely fed into the way this car is handling. It is good right now.
I cannot make myself believe that Kyle Busch is full of fuel or has enough to go to the end.
Boy, it sure doesn't look like with one can. I didn't see gas come out of it, Matt.
And DW, what they've told him is run as hard as you need to keep the lead. Otherwise, try to conserve.
Yeah, okay. Let me see what I can do.
I'm just wondering, are they sort of banking, looking at some trends in their notes that they believe a caution is going to come out? Great battle here between Larson and the 24 Chase Elliott.
They're fighting for third, trying to see who's going to be the first Chevrolet.
Wow.
That was close.
Tight.
That was almost too close.
Yeah, Larson went down on the apron and they came right up in front of the 24 Chase Elliott and almost clipped him. That was close, guys. Watch this, Mike. He comes down this front, and he'll go all the way down. You'll see the dust fly here in a second.
And see, he caught it perfect. He caught the edge of the rear bumper of Chase Elliott just as they come off the corner. Wow. That pulls Chase Elliott back, and that's what allowed him to get all the way up there and barely clear the 24.
Son. Do I take 2? Do I take 4? These guys on these.
Well, Chase Elliott's team is talking passing strategies.
Either lane you get, just think about what you want to do, what you need to do to beat him to turn 1. That's going to be the key. It's what got in there past Kyle. Yeah, 10-4.
Yeah, I love how cool these drivers are. Yeah, 10-4.
Well,
like, no problem.
And if we go back through last year and some of the history with Chase Elliott, he's struggled a lot on restarts, spinning tires and just not getting the jump, maybe getting some contact from behind. That has been a focus for that team. They have worked really hard to improve their restarts.
So we'll just have to wait and see, as Bill Elliott says.
This is one of them racing deals.
These 3 cars get almost glued together coming off the corner, the 19, the 4, and the 21.
I think right there is what cut Blaney's left rear down. When the 4 got into him, then everybody took evasive action.
Larson's done a great job here being in the same position as he was at the 24. He's going to get the lead.
Whoa, the 24, nice job by Chase to get into second place.
At a track here in Michigan where Ford has won more than any other manufacturer.
Well, for the 3rd straight race here, he finished in the top 5, bringing home second, Chase. It wasn't easy, though. This team had to wholesale change this car yesterday. How hard was today to fight back and get the finish?
Yeah, it was. I'm really proud of our Napa Chevy team. We, from where we started the day to where we ended up, I was really proud of our effort. I really think we overachieved today from what we had Friday, Saturday, and kind of last night. I was a little nervous about how the day was going to go, so happy that we could just have a solid day, put ourselves in position, kind of rely on some late race restarts, had a couple opportunities to get the lead, and unfortunately just didn't work out, but we'll move on. Congrats to Kyle. He had a fast car today, and we'll try to go get him next week. Yep.
Outside barrier.
Oh my. That killed that car.
Fine. Sorry, guys.
You've been putting down some pretty good laps.
Yep.
She's done. I mean, you use that at both ends. Got a little work to do.
I saw him start to go around, but I didn't see what caused it.
Really early.
Boy, this is going to get hard too. He's trying, man, but the front comes around and slaps it right there, and then the back pops in there.
Yeah, he even went past the tire barrier.
Yeah, that is not safer barrier. Those are those concrete dividers, I believe.
Bam. Bam. That car all to pieces.
Yeah, somewhere on the entry to turn 10, he either carried a little bit too much speed or turned in a little bit too late, and that car started to come around. There was no saving it at that point.
I know he's got a pretty deal. He's 7th quick on our timing and scoring, but I just didn't like the way that car looked earlier when we were watching it. The front of the car was raising up and down a lot.
Chase Elliott into the wall, turn 10. We're under caution. In the opening 2-hour practice session, Chase Elliott went for a harmless spin. But here coming into turn 10, too much speed, too loose. Around he goes, and the front end just swings and slams the concrete with predictable results. Backup car.
Now, you know, guys, this happens before qualifying, so this could actually be to the series director's discretion whether the qualifying will serve as time on the racetrack and whether the 24 car will have to go to the rear of the field. We've seen it go both ways. I think a lot has to do with the experience.
What so proudly we...
Yeah, at 10 after this one.
There's Chase Elliott. We know he's in a backup car, but he was fast in that backup car. I think he can be a factor today, Chris.
All right, so the length of this race, the road course, 110 laps.
Dirt track racing, and some that have dirt track experience, it pays off. Clint Boyer is one of those because he went dirt track and off-roading just a little bit ago, went in a spin, recovered very nice. Gets the spot back.
Harvick won here yesterday. This is big.
Billy Johnson on the inside.
Yeah, they were 3 wide at turn 7. That's hard to believe.
Billy hard to believe they made it out. Yes. Clean on the other end.
Newman, or does he?
Drag race. Lead right now. He's going into turn 10 right now. Second place car is just now coming through the S's.
So Keselowski could run another 14 laps around lap 50, Matt.
And Chase Elliott, the 24 on pit road, really showing a lot of poise and confidence after wrecking his primary car in practice. The backup car, an old Jeff Gordon car, updated to 2017 specs. Balance-wise, the car just seems to have gotten a lot better the second half of this race. No chassis adjustments on the 24. Everyone just trying to get more grip on exit.
Nice pit stop there for the 2014.
And it's not unusual, Mike. Road race cars are kind of one-offs. It's not unusual to update them and keep the same chassis and run it.
They may catch 5th place Chase Elliott.
Yeah, they've got about, 15 laps fresher tires.
And what a nice job by Elliott, who had a spin and then a crash, went to a backup car. But there he is, Kyle Busch closing in, but there's Chase in 5th place.
This will be a great confidence booster for Chase Elliott. After having all the issues in practice, road courses have not gone extremely well for him since he's come to the Cup Series. But a day like today, even if he doesn't finish where he's at now, I think will be a big boost for him on future road courses.
He just doesn't want to put up a big fight right there. It's just no way. They're better than he is. Get out of their way and let him go.
Lewis going into turn 10, and that spin, and then slapped the wall with the front end into the cement barrier, and that was all for that number 24.
Goes to the backup car, and in the first round of qualifying, he's the fastest car. I think that tells you what kind of determination this young driver has.
Yeah, it's definitely been an exciting week for sure. Thankful for the opportunity and the chance to stay at Hendrick Motorsports for another 5.5 years. I'm really excited about it, and something that I've been wanting to share with y'all for a couple weeks since we got it done, and it's been just an honor to work with the men and women that make Hendrick Motorsports go around every day. And as I've told everyone in here before, and as the majority of y'all know that have covered racing for any period of time, I owe so much to Mr. Hendrick and what he's done for me, and really just kind of believing in me from the time I met him for some reason, and still does, and has continued to prove that as time's gone along. So I owe an awful lot to him, not just for the opportunities he's given me, but just for the faith he's had in me over the years, when even when people don't, nobody else does, he does, and he's made that aware, very apparent for everybody else to see. So that means a lot to me. For anybody, you don't see people like that in this world very often these days that are willing to go out of their way to help you, and he's one of those guys, and very lucky to have him on my team to do that.